Welcome to Human Services Stories, Management, Customer, and Staff Voices. I'm Clinton Lewis, and I'm glad you're here. The show is about the people behind the work, the managers, staff, customers, and communities who care, support, and help one another move forward. And this episode is called This is What We're Made For. There are moments in this work when somebody looks at you and says, "You're not the right person for this." Maybe they mean it as a criticism, maybe they mean it as doubt, maybe they mean it because they do not see in you what you see in yourself. But let me tell you something. Being told that you're not the right person does not always mean you're in the wrong place. Sometimes it means you are standing in the exact place where your training, your education, and your experience and your calling are needed the most. You were prepared for this. You did not get here by accident. You were trained for this work. You were educated for this work. You were shaped by experience, by hard lessons, by long days, by listening, by learning, and by showing up again and again. There are times when your work feels bigger than you, and that's true, but being stretched does not mean that you're unqualified. It simply means that you're being asked to use your gifts you already carry. You're not here because you're perfect, you're here because you are prepared. Doubt does not define you. People will sometimes question your ability. They may say things to you like, "This is not your strong suit," or "You're not the right person," or "Maybe someone else shouldn't handle it." And sometimes these words sting, especially when you're already really trying your best, but doubt does not have to become your identity. A hard moment does not cancel your confidence. What matters is not what someone else sees in your strength right away. What matters is whether you stay rooted in what you know. Remember, you are trained, you are educated, you're committed, and you are capable of making sound decisions. This is our work. This is what we are made for. We're made for the moments when people need calm. We're made for the moments when decisions must be made carefully. We're made for the moments when a child, a family, or a vulnerable person needs someone steady. This is your community. This is your lane. This is your work. And because this is your work, you do not need to shrink from it just because someone questions you. You can step forward with humility and confidence at the same time. You must continue to do what you do best. At the center of this episode is one simple truth. You always make the right decisions and do the right thing when you stay focused on what is best for your clients, guided by practice, policy, and the law. That does not mean every choice is easy, does not mean every answer is obvious, but it does mean you have a framework to rely upon. What is best for the people you serve, what is supported by policy, what is lawful and ethical. That is a path, not ego, not pressure, not fear. The path is professionalism. You can't have confidence without arrogance. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance says, "I don't need anyone." However, confidence says, "I know what I've been trained to do and I do it well." Arrogance refuses feedback. Confidence welcomes support, supervision, and learning. Arrogance needs to be read at all costs, and confidence seeks the right outcome for the people we serve. That is the kind of confidence this work requires. Stand in your training. Always remember that. Here's a coaching moment for this episode. Please ask yourself, number one, where have I allowed someone else's doubt to weaken my confidence? Number two, What training, experience, or education do I already have that supports me in this role? And number three, what decision do I need to make today that should be guided by practice, policy, and the law? Then, then say this to yourself: I am the right person to do this work, and I will do it with care, clarity, and professionalism. Again, I am the right person to do this work, and I will do it with care, clarity, and professionalism. Just say it again if you need to. Let it remind you that purpose and professionalism can stand together. Thank you for listening to Human Services Stories, Management, Customer, Staff Voices. If someone tells you that you're not the right person, remember this: your training matters, your education matters, your experience matters, and your commitment matters. You're not guessing your way through this work. You're doing what you're prepared to do. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay confident, and keep doing what is best for the people you serve, guided by practice, policy, and the law. And remember, you got this.